I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're watching News X. In his address to the nation today, Prime Minister Modi has said that 27th March must be marked as a proud day in the history of India. With its latest space mission, India has now entered the exclusive space club, coming at power with America, Russia as well as China. In an entirely indigenous effort, India launched Mission Shakti, an anti-satellite mission that targeted a low-orbit live satellite. Mission Shakti was a difficult operation which was successful within 3 minutes of its launch, added the Prime Minister. Mission Shakti, in fact, is an important step towards securing India's safety, economic growth, as well as technological advancement.
आज 27 मार्च कुछ ही समय पूर्व भारत ने एक अभूतपूर्व सिद्धि हासिल की है। भारत ने आज अपना नाम अंतरिक्ष महाशक्ति स्पेस पावर के रूप में दर्ज करा दिया है। अब तक दुनिया के 3 देश अमेरिका, रूस और चीन को यह उपलब्धि हासिल थी। अब भारत चौथा देश है जिसने आज यह सिद्धि प्राप्त की है। सिर्फ 3 मिनट में सफलतापूर्वक यह ऑपरेशन पूरा किया गया है। मिशन शक्ति यह अत्यंत कठिन ऑपरेशन था, जिसमें बहुत ही उच्च कोटि की तकनीकी क्षमता की आवश्यकता थी। वैज्ञानिकों द्वारा सभी निर्धारित लक्ष्य और उद्देश्य प्राप्त कर लिए गए हैं। भारत की सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से और भारत की विकास यात्रा की दृष्टि से देश को एक नई मजबूती देगा। मैं आज विश्व समुदाय को भी आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि हमने जो नई क्षमता प्राप्त की है, यह किसी के विरुद्ध नहीं है। यह तेज गति से आगे बढ़ रहे हिंदुस्तान की रक्षात्मक पहल है।
So that, of course, was Prime Minister Modi's announcement earlier today, talking, of course, about this major achievement by India in the space arena. Let me open this up to our special panel now before we get you some further reactions which have come in on this big story. Major General Yogi Behel, Strategic Affairs Analyst, joining us in our studio. Also Major General Shakti Asthana, Defence Expert, live with us on the broadcast. Let me get you in first, Major General Asthana. Your first reading of really the purpose of Mission Shakti that has, of course, been achieved today. Prime Minister Modi is saying 27th March will always be remembered as a decisive day for the Indian space program. You know, catapulting our space program now to a never-before-seen level at par with major superpowers like China and the US. But your first reaction on the major purpose of Mission Shakti and what it's been able to achieve?
See, the purpose is very clear, that it is a step in the right direction in the context of as to how the warfare is moving hereafter. That is in the next war, because the next war cannot be fought on the lines of the last war.
Yeah.
Secondly, I must congratulate all the scientists who have done this, and it's a major feat. It's not easy. Indigenously developing a capability of this kind is not easy. China did it in 2007. And they did come under a lot of criticism. But in our case, as a strategic expert, I can tell you few things. Firstly, our intention is very clear that we have 2 hostile neighbors on to the sides. One of them has got this capability and has developed this capability over and again after 2007. So obviously we have to protect ourselves. Secondly, our intentions are very clear. We are a defensive force we only want to defend ourselves, whether it is our land borders or it is Indian Ocean. As far as China and the other three powers are concerned, other two countries are concerned, they are on an expeditionary mode and their missions are expeditionary. Now, when China talks of Belt and Road Initiative and gives it in its military strategy that I will protect every node of mine on the Belt and Road Initiative, that means he is looking at the expeditionary capabilities. So in our case, it's not so. So we are only protecting ourselves. And therefore, I don't think it should draw any kind of international condemnation in this case. Secondly, as far as any kind of treaty or law which we have signed, we have not violated anything. All the missile treaties and the restrictions which they impose, nothing has been violated. It's purely a scientific achievement which we have done, and it is not aimed at anybody else. This Prime Minister has made it absolutely clear to everybody. So in context of both these things, I am sure people will take it in the right spirit. It's a big achievement for the country, and we are proud of our scientists, and we are proud of our scientists by the fact that even the countries which did it at the first time, like the USA, in NASA, bulk of our scientists are Indians. A large number of scientists are Indians. So therefore, it's the Indian brain which has done it. It has done it there, it has done it here, and it has done it indigenously.
Absolutely. Major Bell, your first thoughts, sir. Your comments and on the purpose and of course the achievements now after the successful conclusion of Mission Shakti today.
So it's a major achievement in the cutting edge technology we have before. I remember because I was part of DIPAC. We entered in this field as the defense satellites are concerned, we entered in this field sometime in 87, 88. And till then, for normal satellite imageries, we had to really beg the countries.
Yeah.
France was there, Russia was there, America was there. These are three countries who were basically the satellite suppliers and satellite imagery suppliers, and we had to really beg for them. But even when we launched the first satellite, defense satellite, we went in for 5-meter imagery, which speaks volumes of our scientists. Whereas the world over, they started with 10 to 15 meters, satellites, imageries, coming down to centimeters. In our case now, today, we are also at par with them. We are also providing the satellite imageries which are in centimeters. So, which is an achievement. So our scientists, definitely as Shashi brought it out, that our scientists are all over the world, including NASA is being dominated by Indian scientists alone. Second thing is that our space was invariably being dominated by the enemy satellites picking up the intelligence. Now they have to worry about it. Because with this capability available with us, we will ensure that our space remains free of enemy satellites. And as brought out that we have got no intention to, go in for war with anybody for this purpose. This is our scientific achievement, and we honor it and will maintain it.
Absolutely, but also for our space program, at the end of the day, this being a major achievement there, Major General Behel, and at the end of the day, yes, not showing any aggression here, but showing that we are very much capable of having our defense at superpower levels. If we have any transgressions, or if anyone tries to be aggressive with us, we can hit back.
Absolutely.
In all spheres.
Yes.
We've shown it militarily in the past.
Yes.
We've shown it through our intelligence in the past, but now this is showing our space prowess as well. Major General Behel.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that nobody can just walk into our space without our knowledge or without our not being able to oppose it. We can look after ourselves in every aspect, both sea, land and air. And as well as the space is concerned, there also we are dominating today. We are at par with world powers as regards the space technology is concerned. Rather, a couple of years ago, around 2 years ago, we had launched 100 satellites in one go, which was a major achievement. For world over, it was recognized.
World record.
It was world record we established. So therefore, we are not a threat for anybody, but we are also not, sitting ducks for others. That be very clear. And moreover, nothing is political. It is all a political thing, political achievements these are. Because in other studios just now they were being talking that probably there's a, was it the right time for since the elections are on, announcing it? These things you have to announce because it was launched, the project might have been launched 10 years ago. It takes time for the project to develop. And moreover, when you go out for the test, you have to confirm, you have to go by certain specifications. The weather should be like this, the wind velocity should be like this, because you are basically testing the equipment. So therefore, you cannot say because elections have come, so we have carried out this test.
No, I'll just come to that because as we're seeing on our screens, the opposition questioning the timing of this announcement, politics, of course, breaking out over Mission Shakti that was to be expected. It is, after all, election time. I'll just come to that in a second, but Major General Asthana, your thoughts on, of course, the space capability now going up to a whole new level. Also, at the end of the day, this being a major message as well to any potential adversary of India, that we can counter them through our space program as well. Lots strategically can be achieved through our satellites, through, of course, now this achievement of striking down any satellite which is, strategically affecting us or is strategically helping an adversary of us.
Yes, I agree with you. You see, this is a strategic messaging as well, that any satellite which is inimical to us, that can be shot down. Secondly, we have to protect our own satellites as well. We've got 13 military satellites which are presently in the space. So those 13 military satellites also have to be protected. And as I mentioned, the next war, it has to be in all dimensions. So this space is a new dimension. Electronics is a new dimension. Information warfare is a new dimension. And the country has to progress. And coming on to a point which you just mentioned regarding the politics part of it, you see, as General brought out, the technical parameters have to be taken into account before the test is conducted. And if the technical parameters are suiting today, that means it has to be done today. That is number one. Secondly, it is a wrong thing. We are a mature democracy. It's a wrong thing to assume that if elections are on, then all developments in the country must come to a standstill. Sorry, it shouldn't happen that way. Everybody is doing his job. If today somebody does very well in some field, does it mean that we should keep waiting for the announcement till the elections are over? So therefore, the entire country should not go to sleep just because elections have been announced. So therefore, if the scientific development has taken place and it happens to be at this point of time and it has to be announced, then it should be, so be it. And I think we all should appreciate that. That's my take on it.
Okay, fair enough. Let me quickly also bring in now Harsh Vasani, research scholar, joining us live on the broadcast. Mr. Vasani, I appreciate you speaking with NewsX. Today on this momentous day for our space program and of course our space capability. How strategically important, I have to begin by asking you, how strategically important is the success of Mission Shakti, which we've seen today, India's first anti-satellite mission test? What kind of deterrence will it serve for the Indian defense system?
So this is an idea whose time had come when we did our Mars mission. At that time, there were voices that it's time that we demonstrate our anti-satellite weapons capability, and this certainly gives our nuclear order, our nuclear capability a leg up, and also a missile defense system a leg up. It gives us parity with China. You see, China has already demonstrated its anti-satellite capability, so now we are on equal footing with China, and it gives us superiority with Pakistan for the time being at least. And the entire nuclear order in South Asia has now gone awry. I wouldn't be surprised if Pakistan also conducts a similar test sooner or later. So when it comes to an all-out war, China has to be careful with us, because India can respond in same. Our space assets are now much more safer, and no country will be, thinking to attack our space assets because we can respond in kind.
Absolutely, and India certainly now, Mr. Vasani, entering the super league of space powers with the success of this mission. How significant a feat is this, given that only 3 countries reportedly have achieved this so far?
Yes, it's certainly a giant leap in science and technology when in India's national security. All kudos, all the credit goes to DRDO and the scientific community. And as Honorable Prime Minister said, that the entire technology was indigenous. So it certainly, shows that India is not a reluctant power, and it is very much on the way to become a superpower and a space power. So I wouldn't be surprised if there will be greater opprobrium from these existing space powers. All the credit goes to India's scientific community, the DRDO especially. We have tweaked our anti-ballistic missile capability to become an asset capability, something which I was always sure that it's going to happen sooner or later.
Okay. You know, Harsh, also the Prime Minister today saying that Mission Shakti, this operation today, was a difficult target to achieve. It was highly complex, and also it was conducted at extremely high speeds with remarkable precision. What does it entail for an operation of this scale and magnitude to really be successful?
So the magnitude of this operation was extremely high, because you see in today's modern warfare, space is going to play the decisive role when it comes to communication, navigation, early warning systems of incoming missile, reconnaissance, communicating with your troops. All this is conducted, even launching missiles or, God forbid, nuclear weapons. All this is done with the help of a satellite. So this is a very important mission, and the magnitude is certainly very high. There were already questions that does India have the space situational awareness? Does India have the required radars, sensors, the ground-based awareness of where the satellites are? So now the questions have been answered, and it's very difficult to attack satellites in the space. They move in certain trajectories, and we have to tweak our existing ballistic missile capabilities to make sure that we hit the satellite at the right time and a certain precision, and all this was done within 3 minutes. So it really answers the questions and the doubt that were in the mind of international community.
Absolutely. And, at the end of the day, immediately after the Chinese ASAT test, the global community had protested against militarization of space. That's what certain global players had said. Is that a real danger in this time and age? What kind of reactions are we expecting now from the global community after this announcement by Prime Minister Modi today?
See, when China did its test in 2007, it did a similar test. They destroyed one of their own aging satellites in 2007 to show that it has the anti-satellite capability. So it led to around 800 pieces of debris, which is quite dangerous in the outer space. And resultantly, one of the Russian satellites was destroyed due to this debris. And now details are awaited of what kind of debris our test has, resulted in. From what I gather, it was done at a low altitude. So I expect that the debris created will move back into Earth's atmosphere and burn. I hope that's the case. But we should be expecting a great opprobrium, great criticism from all the space powers, from China, especially China and United States and Pakistan too. So a lot of criticism will be on our way. But having said that, we have not broken any treaty. We have not broken any law. The existing treaties, the Outer Space Treaty bans the placing of weapons of mass destruction in the outer space, not any other weapons, just the weapons of mass destruction. Now, having conducted this test, this gives India a stronger voice in any future treaty negotiations. There have been attempts to come out with a treaty which bans testing of space weapons. So having done this test, now we have a greater voice in any future negotiations. By this, we also have made sure that we are avoiding any space in the non-proliferation treaty, which is discriminatory in nature. We talk of nuclear apartheid. We have avoided a space apartheid, having conducted this test at the right time before it was too late. A lot of criticism from China and the United States, certainly from Pakistan, but we have to just take it and move on.
Absolutely. We leave it at that. Harsh Vasani, research scholar, appreciate you joining us, really making more sense of course, the objectives achieved of missions Shakti, and also now the strategic capabilities of ours that have gone up in the entire space world, and of course the message also being sent out to the global community through this. Thanks, Harsh, for joining us with your take on this big story. Let me quickly point out to our viewers now, these are live visuals now coming in from the DRDO, really explaining to you what really took place today, how this operation was successfully completed, and what it really takes for a complex operation of this kind, an anti-satellite operation of this kind.
and tracks the satellite movement. The missile is launched from the launcher. Traveling at high speeds, the stage separation happens. The ground radars guide the missile in its path. The heat shield separated. The missile locks onto the incoming satellite. It hits the target and neutralizes it successfully. The anti-ballistic missile is crucial technology for the nation.
Space defense technology is a very decisive technology, and India has achieved this with the new anti-satellite missile technology. The BMD interceptor missile. This technology, the radars target the satellite in low Earth orbit. Radar sends the command and missile launches. Missile travels with high speeds. Missile locks onto the target and annihilates the satellite. With this technology, India is number 4 in the world who has this exclusive technology.
India has achieved crucial technology in space defense. BMD interceptor missile. Its task is to detect satellites in low Earth orbit and protect the nation from them. Missile lifted off from Orissa coast. Missile hit its target on the Bay of Bengal. Technology of the future. BMD interceptor.
All right, so that, of course, was a live video streaming there from the DRDO, really detailing the operation and what really took place today. Let's play out for you more reactions now which have come in on this big story. Let's play out those reactions for you.
इंटरसेप्टर मिसाइल का अवमूल्यन करके भारत इस तरह की तकनीकी रखने के लिए एलीट देशों की सूची में शामिल हो गया है। राडार से उपग्रह का निशाना
of this operation
हो गया। तेज रफ्तार से उपग्रह की और बढ़ता मिसाइल उपग्रह को सीधा टकराया। BMD इंटरसेप्टर मिसाइल के सक्सेसफुल परीक्षण के साथ भारत अधिक सुरक्षित है।
भारत ने हासिल किया एक महत्वपूर्ण टेक्नोलॉजी, उपग्रह कक्षा में जाकर उसे खत्म करने की क्षमता रखने वाला नया एंटी सैटेलाइट मिसाइल। भारत का सबसे गौरवपूर्ण क्षण जब BMD इंटरसेप्टर मिसाइल ने अपना लक्ष्य हासिल किया। BMD इंटरसेप्टर भारत के लिए सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि है। BMD इंटरसेप्टर मिसाइल निम्न पृथ्वी की कक्षा में खतरनाक वस्तुओं को पहचानती है और उन्हें नष्ट कर देती है। BMD अंतरिक्ष रक्षा प्रौद्योगिकी में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है।
So that, of course, was the description there of this interceptor missile that was launched today. Further reactions on this story that have come in, let's play them out now.
भारत के इस स्पेस ताकत का दुरुपयोग नहीं होगा, लेकिन ये सबको बता दिया जाएगा। अगर निगाहें गलत होंगी तो कार्रवाई होगी। और इसे पूर्णता में देखिए, मोदी जी की अगुवाई में भारत दुनिया की एक बड़ी आर्थिक ताकत, एक बड़ी डिजिटल ताकत, भारतीय सेना और वायुसेना का नया साहसिक ऊंचाइयां, और आज भारत के वैज्ञानिकों ने स्पेस के क्षेत्र में एक ऐतिहासिक उपलब्धि प्राप्त की।
Today, India is the 4th country in the world that has entered this club. Now this, if you see in the larger context, today Pakistan keeps harping, they keep sending militants inside, and they keep telling us that we are a nuclear armed country and keep threatening that they'll launch nuclear missiles. Now this makes that entire thing redundant, because the moment they launch a missile, that missile can be easily destroyed.
So long as we have the means to protect our satellites, right? And how do we protect our satellites from damage by any other country? By having the capacity to destroy their satellites. So now it becomes a deterrent. So if a hostile power wishes to destroy our satellite, then they will be very reluctant to do so, because we have the capacity and the capability to destroy their satellites.
They deserve to be congratulated, and the country will have to give them good wishes and congratulate them. Prime Minister should not try to politicalize this also as part of his election campaign or propaganda at the time of elections. Prime Minister should desist from politicalizing the achievements made by our scientific community.